on. Hey guys, that was an fun video. I think we accidentally uploaded the wrong video, but it's okay. I hope y'all enjoyed that music. It was cool. Did you like it, Myra?
I like the music.
Yeah, it was really cool. Well, we uploaded the wrong slightly video, but we'll fix that. Don't worry. We'll have that ready for our next show. Don't worry. But hey, how y'all doing? We're a little bit late because we're getting election results. Mrs. Producer, do you mind putting up the election results that we have right now in Hidalgo County? Awesome. Cool job. Yay. I don't know. Hey, while Mrs. Producer is putting on the election results, we want to give y'all. These are the early election results happening in Hidalgo County. These are some of the races. There's only 3 runoff races that Hidalgo County has, and 2 of them are from Mercedes, and one of them happens to be a guest of ours that we had last night, and we can report here, and we can pretty much say that Jacob C. Howell is going to be the next city commissioner for Mercedes. I am going to call it. I think, Myra, would you agree that it's safe to call this election for Jacob C. Howell?
Yeah, I do agree.
All right, awesome. So Jacob C. Howell, congratulations on getting elected. We had nothing to do with it, absolutely nothing, because these votes are all early vote and mail-in ballot. We had nothing to do with it. So if you lose on election day, you can blame it on us. And then we also have Joe Martinez. I think, Myra, would you agree that this is over in this race as well?
Yeah, he has a lead. They're pretty
substantial lead, and he's going to be your next city commissioner in Mercedes, and that is David Garza. And if there are any comments coming in, feel free to post them. And then we also have an unexpired term runoff that I was unaware of in the city of Palmview with Lando. Oh, I can't read the name because it's too small for me. Oh, there you go. And you have Vela M. Gonzalez, and I think I'm pretty sure I'll call it. Why not, Lando? I think Lando. I don't think there's going to be a lot of turnout coming in on election day. So that's just my guess based on the size of early vote and runoff. So I think it's over. Congratulations, Mr. Lando. I wonder if he's named after Lando Calrissian from Star Wars. All right, let's look at these comments, and you can take off the thing, Mrs. Producer. There you go. There you go. All right. Yay. Good job, guys. Well, that's awesome. Congrats to Mr. Howell. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations to Mr. Howell. We am so glad we had him on the show yesterday. So thanks to Mrs. Producer for getting us Mr. Howell. There you go. Then good evening, Claudia. I don't know how the turnout is right now, but in case you're wondering, not that it matters, but the Dallas Cowboys, the star, they're up 10-3. And breaking news right before the game is Des Bryant apparently has contracted coronavirus, and he was unable to play. It appears to me that there was some sort of controversy as to the fact that he was on the field practicing, and then, hey guy, you're gonna have coronavirus, and you got to get out of the game, and you can't play. But the NFL said that they're not concerned about contract tracing. I don't know how to say that word, because maybe Myra can correct me.
Contract tracing?
But there you go. You can say I'll just point to you, Myra, and you can just say it. And today, Ray is supposed to join us from the Rio crew. I did send him the link. He hasn't responded, so it's no big deal. So, guys, welcome to your show, Riopolitics Live. Hopefully, we got a little bit late. I apologize. We were trying to upload the thing. We accidentally uploaded the wrong video. It's okay. They're probably watching the game. So, Myra, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great, getting ready for this weekend. It was a busy weekend, and it's going to be a busy week. So, and I also got a promotion with Latinos for Trump. So
that's the one that still exists. And 2, what's your new promotion? I'm
state director.
You're state director? What happened to the former state director?
She left some time ago, and we hadn't filled the position. So they moved me up.
So what does that mean? What do you get to do now as state director of Latinos for Trump?
I get to oversee the state. I help the president, which is Bianca, oversee the state, and I'll be traveling a little bit more on the weekends and going to recruit and meetups and things like that. So we are going to continue after President Trump's second term.
Yeah.
So we will
Yeah.
continue. We have other
Hey, Lisa.
packs that we use other names.
Okay, so even if for whatever reason, because today there was breaking news, the Supreme Court, and forgive me guys, I didn't update that I had posted a story yesterday about Ted Cruz willing to appear before the Supreme Court. Hey Hilda, how you doing? Welcome. And the Supreme Court pretty much said we don't want to hear this particular case. And so I guess it can go forward for Pennsylvania to certify their electors, and I guess they feel like it's some legal analysts are saying does the Supreme Court trying to tell President Trump you need to stop this. What are your feelings on this?
I don't think we should stop. I think that he needs to continue. We all need to continue to fight because the evidence is very evident to everybody. I mean, it's out in our faces, and for them to dismiss that, it's kind of a slap in the face to our electoral process. So I think that we need to fight it in every state, whether your state already declared a winner or not. I think it's up to we the people to take it up and continue fighting for him and for our country. Because we all know that there's election fraud, but this is so big. It's out there. They even have videos of what they did. So I don't think that they should be telling him to stop.
Yeah. Is it I feel coming at it from try not to be partisan in any way. Do you feel that maybe the legal strategy of the Trump campaign was bad? Because from my perspective, Ted Cruz is one of these smart individuals, one of these individuals that would not waste his time unless he felt that the case was strong. Be willing to. I don't think he's maybe I'm not cynical enough anymore with politics. Maybe I should be cynical. But maybe he didn't want to, he was just doing it because knowing it's not going to go forth, but he wants to show he's on Team Trump, and that way when he runs for president in 4 years, they can say, look, I was willing to, nobody else did, vote for me in the primary. But I don't think he would waste his time doing that. So
I hope that he didn't do it for those reasons. I want to know that he did it because he truly believes that there was election fraud, which there was. I don't want to know that he did it for his own personal benefit.
Yeah, and that's my point. I don't think he did it for that reason. I think he really believed that this case was a strong case. Mark Levin, who's a constitutional scholar, believes this was a strong case. But when you have the Kraken and you have ridiculous sorts of mistakes and having filings and not being necessarily prepared and being doing these hodgepodge type of legal briefs. And again, I'm not an attorney, but it just seems you shouldn't be making these kinds of mistakes in legal briefs. It just it's ripe to make fun of. That the Supreme Court had this not happen, had some of the bad press not happen or the bad mistakes happen in their legal strategy, maybe this case would have been heard by the Supreme Court. And that's why it's hard to look at what's legit or what's a good argument, a good case when you have all this bad stuff that doesn't make much sense. And I know you're involved in it, and so you want to I'm a believer, and that's fine. But I don't want us, you and I, to be in a bubble. I don't want us to be in this, because we've seen that. I've seen this. I've seen this in local elections, and congrats, Myra. Thanks, Hilda. Thanks for coming on. And if you have any questions for Myra, feel free. This is going to be we're going to be a hodgepodge kind of a night. And we may try to get Jacob Howell on the show with us to congratulate him now that he's going to be the city commissioner elect in Mercedes. What was I going to tell you? Now I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, we don't want to be in the bubble. You want to see all aspects, all sides of it. And I'm one that I try to see the other side. I try to see where they're coming from. But when you have all this evidence, all these videos, and then coming out and saying it, they have admitted to it in a lot of ways, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. So it's kind of hard to ignore and not to fight against it. I don't believe that we should overlook it and concede and move on. That's not something that we can move on from, because it's going to happen worse the next time. They get away with so much.
What will happen to you and the organization if, for whatever reason, Trump is not sworn in on January 20th. We'll go over from that standpoint. What will you continue on anyway, or will you just rename the group and hope to get involved in getting somebody elected in 2024?
Well, we have other names. We have another name called Americanos. So we're
Okay.
ready to, to move on to that one. But if for some reason they make Biden president, I mean, Trump is going to run in 2024. He has the option to run. So I am one that I want to see him run again, because if they take this away from us, we're going to come back full force. And he is.
I'm one of these people. I don't want him to run again. If he loses here, I don't. I think he made, and I've discussed this with some friends and with you, on the side. He should not have lost this election.
No.
But he blew it. And it's not just the election fraud, because whether it's widespread or not, there's always election fraud in every election. And like every election cycle, there is sort of election fraud that happens. It's baked into the cake. We're human beings. We're not, robots. And so let's be real about that. But whether it's widespread, hey, Sochi, how you doing? Widespread is another matter. I don't want you to feel like I'm being negative, but let's look at it from an analytical perspective, because I trust you. I think you're one of these people that can do this. If he had lost, what is, aside from the alleged widespread election fraud, what is your reasoning for why you think he lost this race if he did lose? Because I know you say he didn't, but I'll say he did for the sake of argument. Let's say he. What is your reasoning? What do you think he lost it?
If he lost fair, I mean, I understand what, like he says, I get what you're saying, like what Claudia says, but I cannot look past that he lost, because the numbers were there, the support was there, his results were there. The only way they could have won this was by cheating. How can Biden get more votes than Obama? Even Obama, I mean, if I was Obama, I would be very, very, what do you call it? I mean, they did it cheating. Yeah, I would be very offended that they cheated so much to show, that he beat me. But if he lost fair and square, then yes, we would have to move on. But this is not something that he lost. It was something that was taken away from us. And we, the people, should not stand by that. We need to keep on fighting for the rightful winner to be ahead of our country. I mean, we are the greatest nation in the world. I mean, we should have a better election process.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot accept this.
I mean,
it's hard. I'm very like, yes, I can see both sides, and I hate to disappoint you, but I can see the fact that he lost, because I don't see it. It's not there.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's too much evidence of voter fraud. Is what Hilda's saying, and I agree that there seems to be a lot of evidence out there, but it has not been articulated well enough to convince the majority of Americans that this actually happened. And that's the fault of the president and his team for not being able to explain that. And I've said it from the very beginning, after election day, you need to get a legal strategy. You need to be able to win, not just in the courts, but also win in the court of public opinion, because it could be very, now this is the cynical side of me coming out, I guess. It's very possible that the court of public opinion swayed the Supreme Court today. And they said,
I think that the course of public opinion, I think the majority of America knows that there was election fraud. I have heard it from both sides. Even people that have voted for Biden are seeing the election fraud that took place. The ballot harvesting, everything that Project Veritas has put out, it is very evident that the election fraud was there. It's been seen from both sides. It's not that the majority of America knows that there was election fraud. The majority of the world knows that there was election fraud.
Claudia's saying, Roman, but let's be honest. Trump has cojones to do what he was accomplished in 4 years. But let's be honest, you actually trust the way the votes were handled this year. Amazing, the first world country and can't trust your own government. No, generally speaking, I trust when votes are being counted. Generally, I have to. We are the United States of America. We cannot believe that we live in some sort of banana republic. We have to believe that, because if we don't, we can't trust. I'm not saying always trust your government. Trust but verify, and that's the line of, I believe, President Ronald Reagan. Trust but verify. And it seems strange that Vice President Joe Biden did so well in the 4 key cities, I guess, that he needed to, and didn't do as well as he needed to in the other places. It's very strange. A lot of that, could very well be that they, were able to put a little bit too much in bacon in the cake, I guess, there in those cities. So Terry, give your address out. What does that mean? Hashtag Terry, give your address. I don't know what is that. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Miss Trustee, how you doing? I don't know what that hashtag is, so please explain. What do you know what that hashtag is?
No, I was gonna
look it up. Like, I now want to know what it is. Byron's gonna find out what it is. He's going to. Yeah. So we have hopefully what's the phrase? Where was I? Oh yes. So stepping back, why do I think if Trump lost, and I'm going to say if, to not have a fight with Myra, because I don't like having fights with Myra. Myra's too smart, so I don't want to fight with her.
It's not fighting.
That's okay. It's okay. You know what? Before I forget, before I go in, Eric, from, I think, one of the conservative groups in Cameron County. There's an Eric, right?
Eric, yeah.
Did he pass away? Is he the one that I think it's Eric. There was somebody that was very key in the conservative movement.
I got a text. It's funny you asked, because I got a text from Ms. Rebecca today or yesterday, but it just has his name, Eric, and I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, and I was working, so I didn't respond to what she meant.
Yeah, no, because I was surprised you haven't mentioned it, and I think he passed away. I want to say coronavirus. The future is female. It is. Whoa, there's doggy. Maybe you can find out. I thought I saw something. I want to say it was in the Cameron County, one of the pages. Maybe Janie Lopez's page. I think she had it, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe you can find that out. But because he's one of the good guys, in our community. So I want to say
he's a very nice guy. He's a very nice guy.
Because I thought I saw a picture of him with Alan West when he came down last month, I want to say, and I think that was the picture I saw, and I'm like, wait a second, I know that guy, and so I want to make sure that it really is him. I don't want to
he was out there in all of our events. He's a very, very helpful person.
If it was, I'd like to get your insights on him and whatever. Terry is trying to repeal the Castle Doctrine. Wait. Okay. Why would somebody want to repeal the Castle Doctrine? Maybe we should have you on, Elizabeth, because that's just very. Why would somebody want to repeal that? We need to be able to protect our
Castle Doctrine.
Yeah, the Castle Doctrine is protecting your home, your property. Like, you come in, boom, see you later.
What Terry Canales?
Terry Canales, maybe is it Terry Canales, State Representative Terry Canales? I would be surprised he wants to repeal that. Just so you, FYI, since we're mentioning Terry Canales' name, on Thursday we will have my good friend Zach Maxwell. He is a chief of staff in the Texas legislature for State Representative Lang. I believe that, Lang. And yes, Claudia is saying Eric Valdez passed away on Sunday early morning. He was a friend of mine, and I let the conservatives about passing. It was Corona. Yeah, I thought it was him, but may he rest in peace. Before I go into that, so Zach will join us on Thursday. I'm hoping Myra will be able to join us and a few other people, so we can learn about the upcoming Texas state legislature from his perspective as a chief of staff, and talk about, the incoming Texas Speaker of the House and some of the bills that are going forth and what the makeup of the House is going to look like. And it's important that you here in the Rio Grande Valley, we understand what's happening, because we are not just, we are based on, we just have Democrats here, but the Democrats don't run the House and don't run the legislature. It's Republicans. So we're like, okay, good. Brandon is saying, would love to see them do a bill drug testing state reps. That would be really good, right? Maybe we might catch that one guy who allegedly had cocaine and just like dropped it someplace at an airport or whatever. So I'm just curious, Myra, while we get a chance to talk about this, and Liz has been invited, so hopefully Liz will join us. What are your thoughts on Eric, and what did he do for the movement, the conservative movement in Cameron County?
I know that Eric helped Jessica with her campaign. She was helping her when she was running, I think, for precinct chair or for the office that she was running. He was a very helpful person. He was there from the beginning to the end of our meetups. He would drive my car so I could hold the flags, because I was always afraid of driving. And he was one that would always wear the handkerchief.
Yeah.
He would wear it.
Like, so, and he wasn't one of these individuals that didn't believe that coronavirus was a hoax. I mean,
no,
he
would. I remember him wearing because I'm not one to wear it, so I remember he would always wear it.
Hey, Kat, how you doing? God bless you.
And he had aspirations of running for office as well. Yeah. He was with a Patriot group in Texas, and he would travel around Texas protecting monuments against Antifa and Black Lives Matter. And he was a 2A guy, always had his guns.
Yeah. Well, may he rest in peace. I mean, I don't, when we lose conservatives, and friends, we do our best not to forget them as much as possible, and do what you got to do for their memory. I'm sorry that I mentioned it. I just assumed you knew, and now I'm a horrible human being. So please forgive me.
I mean, I needed to know. I just remember the last time I saw him, we were at the beach, and it was the last caravan. It was a praying Trump train, one of the praying Trump trains. We ended up at the beach, and I forgot my debit card, and he paid for my lunch, and I never got to pay him back.
Oh. Yeah. So you didn't give it back to him then? So
no,
so
I haven't seen him in 2 months or a month before the elections.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, did he have a wife? Did he have a family?
No, he was single.
Single.
He had a daughter. I think he had a daughter.
Yeah. He was. Everything I heard about him was he was great. I didn't hear a negative thing about him, and that's always a good thing. In politics, it's hard. You could probably interview like 10 people, and like 8 of them would say Roman's a piece of crap, and you hear 2 of them say he's a good guy. But Eric was a different person. So that's that's good for him.
Nothing bad to say about him.
Yeah. So he's and why I bring up that is this virus is real. And even if you take it as seriously as possible, you may contract it. I know somebody, a good friend of mine, dear friend of mine, who I need to talk to today, who has it right now. And I remember, over the last several months, we talk about it. It's like we both agree, if you have it, if you get it. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Ray had told me he wasn't going to be able to come on until 8 because he has chess. So I just, se me olvidó. I just remembered. I saw the time and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot. So it's real. So I know people. Hey Ray, hey Royal.
How's it going? Hi Myra. Hi Roman.
I completely forgot that you were going to come in at 8.
Something really quick. Funeral services for Eric. They just send them to me. Will be on Friday at 9 a.m. at St. Joseph Catholic Church, and from there the same day it'll be at Buena Vista Cemetery in Brownsville.
Yeah. Well, then since you mentioned the church today, today is the feast day, the solemnity of Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception. And so today would be normally, I didn't get a chance to finish my thought yesterday about Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, and then it is a holy day of obligation. But because of coronavirus, we have been dispensed from that obligation to go to Mass. We'll have, a lot of conversations about La Inmaculada and La Guadalupana. And just so those of you who are not Catholic, and even for those of you who are Catholic, we need to realize that and that you have what's the phrase, different apparitions of the Virgin Mary. It's the same person. There aren't like 72 different Virgin Marys, and some people believe that they're all the same. It's just different apparitions. And what I like, and because I'm Catholic, I like, and I want people to understand the faith, but I also do it from a historical perspective. The Immaculada, the Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, is the patron saint of the United States. So and today, I would ask for her intercession on behalf of Eric and his soul. Because she is the patron of the United States, and he was a firm believer in our country, and so he represented our country well as an activist. So pray for him, and so I ask for her intercession today. But the Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, and what her title is and what this represents. The Our Lady of Immaculate Conception is not saying that that Christ was immaculately conceived. That's actually the visitation, and that takes place on the Annunciation, which is March 25th. That's the feast day for that, which is 9 months before Christmas, which would be December 25th. But the idea of the Immaculate Conception is essentially, and it's not just an idea, it's a dogma, meaning if you are Catholic, you must believe this, that the Virgin Mary was born through the grace of God without sin. Because, and you have to think about it this way, she was going to have our Lord and Savior in her body. She was going to be the Ark of the Covenant. Essentially, she was going to be the new covenant with Jesus Christ. If you're a Christian, you believe in that. And so she is a Virgin Mary, and so she's going to be the Ark, holding her, much like the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark held the Ten Commandments that the Israelites used. So she needed to be without sin. And so God, through his wonderful grace and his mercy, did this. And so this was done, and that's what this is about. So it's Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, and that's what it is. And so on the 9th, we'll have the feast day of San Juan Diego, or Saint Juan Diego, which is native Juan Diego. But he is a saint in the Catholic Church, and so his feast day is on the 9th. And then that will be, what day is it? Oh yeah, that's right, tomorrow, because today is the 8th, tomorrow. And on the 12th, we'll have the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And if
that's my middle name.
Your middle name. So you're Guadalupana. So that will be that's your feast day.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely curious, before I talk about the Virgen of Guadalupe, what are your as Hispanics? Well, all of us are Hispanics, and the Our Lady, right? Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Really? I didn't know that.
Politically,
I thought I was just tan.
I'm Hispanic.
Our Lady of Guadalupe is a political figure in many respects, because because she led the procession for Cesar Chavez in the farm rights. So I'm just curious, Ray. Welcome, Ray. Ray's with us today. I completely forgot he had chess until 8. So, what are your thoughts on La Virgen de Guadalupe, and why what is she important to you? And I didn't even ask, are you Catholic? I think you told me you were Catholic.
Well, the thing is, the Lady of Guadalupe. In fact, for my Catholic heritage started at Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe in Brownsville. And my parents would always go to church. In fact, my mom still goes to church on Sundays at 7 in the morning. And so that was the custom. That was the tradition. They always went to that particular mass. And since I was little, my mom and my dad sat at the same pew. Always. It was their pew. And so I was, I don't know, whatever age I was, 1, 2, and I would go to church. When I was 4, I guess when I was 4, I was one of the, we became an altar boy at that age. Yeah, because I was the only kid there, and there was no altar boys, and so the father spoke to my parents, and hey, he's always here. We were well behaved. Back in the day, mom told you to sit there, you sat there, and one look, and you knew you were in trouble. And
Mhm.
so, I was always very well behaved, and so I was an altar boy like at about 4, and anyway, I grew up in all that, CCD, CYO, retreat team member and the whole bit. I mean, I became actually a leader and all that. But well, Our Lady of Guadalupe has always been the saint that you go to. Not only culturally, but even within religion, even within movies, and all that. And so, yeah, it's played a part. And every 12, I would always serve on the mass and that kind of deal. Um, you light candles and they pray rosaries and things like that. Um,
Yeah.
what else?
The
But and it's the day before my birthday, so
Yeah, I
even
know, and
better.
your birthday's coming up, so like on the
Mine's on
13th.
the
So
11th, so
yeah. Oh, the
so
11th. I thought
yeah.
it was the 13th for some reason.
Oh no, I'm the 11th. I
You're the
would
11th. So
not be
you're
a
so you're the day
13th child.
before. So
I'm
you're
the
on
day
Before.
before.
four. So yeah, I'm sorry. And my,
Yeah.
my my math is like horrible today.
No, 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 no. That's cool.
my,
But
my
I mean, I love midnight mass at Our Lady of Guadalupe Church. I mean, the whole procession down to Immaculate Conception. Or when we also started, we would start the feast or the holiday like at 4 in the morning with the mañanitas and all of that, and it's like
yeah, so Our
it's
Lady of Guadalupe, yes.
it's a big thing, and
Yeah.
so it's
For,
big in our culture. I mean, it goes as far as even the gangbangers using Our Lady of Guadalupe as a kind of like a symbol, which
mm,
is on the negative side. But if you think about it, it's kind of like positive in a way, positive of the negative. I don't know, but
and, and then
yeah,
and then Claudia's birthday is 20 days later.
yeah, yeah. And
20
Joe is
days.
on the 27th, and I don't know who else. And but yeah, no, we're full of Sagittarius here.
Well, that's
Sagittarius
crazy. It's
rules.
crazy. Well, one of the reasons why I want to talk about this at some, why is he talking? Why does he want to talk about religion? Because I think it's fascinating the juxtaposition of the border region that we have La Inmaculada, and this is a Catholic calendar. It's not up to me. It's not up to the
Mhm.
Pope. It's not up.
Yeah, yeah.
This is what it is. And I mean, it's not political reason that it just happened this way, but the patron saint of the United States being the La Inmaculada, the Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, and the patron saint of Mexico being the protector of Mexico is La Virgen de Guadalupe, and her feast day is so close to each other. And then you have the intersection of the San Juan Diego being on the 9th, and it's very representative of the border and what
Mhm.
it's like to live. Yeah, Claudia is a Capricorn because she's born after I think the 19th.
Oh, okay.
And just so you know, if you're a Catholic, you're not supposed to believe in the horoscopes. Okay, just so y'all know, we're not supposed to believe in it. It's for fun. It's not
Look
real.
who's the authority on the Capricorn.
Well, no, I am because like, and I'm not an authority. I'm just I try to do like little bits and pieces here and there so people can learn because I feel it's important to evangelize and teach and learn. But I think the fact that we have the juxtaposition of those two figures that are protecting us and here in the border is just a beautiful thing, and it to the grace of God that He has done this, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Whether you're I just believe that. So I think it's just wonderful. And my I had no idea you were Guadalupana, you're Lupe. Tell us about that your
It's
name and what that name
Lupita.
means to you, Lupita. No, Lupe, no, Lupe. Hey, I have a cousin. No offense. I have a Lupe Perez who's a cousin of mine, and she's very female, very female. I don't. So
Very
tell me about
Guadalupe is also a guy's name.
that's true.
Yeah,
But my cousin is very woman.
Lupita, Guadalupe it
Yeah.
goes both ways. It's
Yeah, it does. It really does. So I'm gonna call you Luke. I guess I'm
woman,
gonna
it's a
start
girl.
calling you Lupita this week, Myron.
And so
So why are you? What
My
does that
name
mean?
never caught on. Like everybody knows me as Myra, Mayra, but very few know that my middle name is Guadalupe. It's just
Mhm.
it's so long. Mayra Guadalupe Gutierrez.
Myra Guadalupe
It's
or
beautiful. It's a
Mari
beautiful name.
Guadalupe or Maria de la Guadalupe or what's her name?
Mayra
What's her
Guadalupe.
Mayra Guadalupe.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's one of the virgenes that my mom really, would pray to, her and the Virgen Milagrosa. So my mom had the Virgen Milagrosa and the Guadalupe. So when she passed, I took all her Guadalupes that she had in her house. And I am Catholic, but we continue to be Catholic. I do pray my rosary, and my mom always made it the day of the 12, and they call me on the day of the 12 to,
It's your feast
the
day.
day of the Santo. Yeah.
El Día de tu
It's
Santo.
a day for me. I do like it, huh?
Yeah, there's something. Yeah, it's your feast day. I mean, you celebrate that day because it's your namesake is like the Guadalupe.
Yeah.
And
You're
for,
those lucky people that have 2 birthdays.
in a way, yes, you really
Yeah,
do.
she
Like a
gets
birthday.
gifts on the Dia de her Santo. She gets gifts, and then on her birthday she
Rosemary.
gets gifts.
Hey,
It is a
Rosemary, long
big deal.
time no
My
see.
mom
Just
would
walked
always
in.
make it a point to, call me or make my meal and, something.
Yeah. Well,
They're spoiled.
for those of you at the historical perspective, and what is so special about La Virgen de Guadalupe, and why to me, when I was younger, I didn't see the big deal about her, quite frankly. Okay, it wasn't until I got more involved in the faith and understanding it, and understanding why she's so special. It is the only, you have La Virgen de la Inmaculada, you have the Virgen de Fatima, you have the Virgen de Rosario, like all these so
There's a lot of virgins.
So we will throughout the week we'll talk a little bit about the Virgen de Guadalupe and what it is, because I think it's important for us. So let's talk some politics. So Jacob Howell is a winner.
I was just going to add that a lot of it has to do with the miracle. The miracle in which during that time the church was not together with this, and so the Virgen de Guadalupe was not part of the Catholic Church until they when Juan Diego. This is why Juan Diego is such an important part of this history, because the roses up in the mountains full of snow, that ain't gonna happen. And so when he came back with his sarape, and he opened up his sarape, and all of a sudden the roses that had been tattooed, or I don't know, painted on his coat, opened up, and there you are, all these flowers, all these roses. They go, wow, where did those come from? And so that's how we start getting into that, and then later got canalized into being the Virgin Mary. And so it's
and throughout the week,
that's what got me, because otherwise you're just like saints that you hear from, that unless you study you don't know, like San Martin de Porres, San Juan Caballero, and you have all these other saints, Sacred Heart, and
Yeah. So we'll throughout the week we'll talk about it, and at some point we will most definitely finish the conversation. If anyone, I don't want to bore some people. Some people get bored by it. I don't. I'm fascinated by it, and
you're right. There's a lot of history.
Yeah. So we want to let you all know that we have the next topic is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. No, I'm just kidding. They're up. They're down 17-10. If you want, they're down 17-10. Yeah, no, right? They're down 17-10. There's no reason to be watching them at all. So it's just there's no reason to be watching them. Quite frankly, they're horrible, and don't watch the NFL. It's like not a big deal. Just kidding. I know here I am watching this particular thing, and that's probably why we have some of my Cowboy fans that are that usually watch our show. Like, no, we're watching that, and I'm like, no, don't even bother. Just don't. You're gonna throw stuff. You're gonna hurt the TV. You're just gonna get mad. Don't even bother doing it. So we had Jacob Howell last night on the show, and he won. Do we, Mrs. Producer, by any chance, do we have an update on the numbers for us? So maybe we can see real quick, so we can see if there are any updates to numbers and see if they change. And if it hasn't, let me. You don't have to put the screen up. Just refresh it. Actually, you know what? I can do that myself. Wait, where are you?
Cookie.
Has there been an update change? No, but it does not seem like there has been an update at all. No update whatsoever.
Hey, Jacob's winning.
Yeah, Jacob is winning, and so is Joe Martinez. Yeah, both of them. Actually, both of them are well, Jacob, friend of the show, Joe Martinez. We weren't able to get on the show, but I have him as a Facebook friend. He seems really cool, really
Yeah,
awesome.
he
So
seems
both,
like a real cool dude.
yeah. So
I like
it
the
hopefully,
fact that he's a man that studies success building and all that.
no, he seems really, really awesome. So, guys, if you have any questions for Myra or for Joe, for Ray, that'd be great. Okay, let's talk a little bit about chess because we didn't get a chance to talk about that last week. We didn't finish it because I had told you that there's some movies out there that are up there. Myra, do you play chess?
Checkers.
Checkers? Oh no, Myra does not play chess.
Ooh,
Ray,
private lessons.
he doesn't. So we had the end game, and you were telling us last week that end game really isn't about chess; it's about politics. For those of us who want to watch movies about chess, what can we watch?
Well, there's always searching for Bobby Fischer. Uh, I want to learn chess. Yes, you told me, but you don't. But you don't inbox me back.
Yeah,
So does
because she doesn't want to pay. That's why, because she wants free lessons from the great Master Ray.
Actually, you know what? I normally, when it comes to adults, sometimes I don't charge them because they're not competing. So they're not going to be like the kids. They're serious. I get like right now. I had kids that they're just texting me, hey, or they want to play, because they're interested because they're going to compete. They're going for scholarships and all of that. Later on, and so yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, you want to enjoy a good chess movie? Searching for Bobby Fischer is a must. If you got any kids that want to learn chess or that are actually in the chess program, searching for Bobby Fischer. Every time we go, right before we go to nationals or we go to state, I always try to show certain clips from that movie to my students. Um, Another one would be Knights of the South Bronx, and of course that takes place up in New York. In fact, everything does. But
Sochi said, I'll do it soon. I'm super busy. LOL. I'll pay for it. I had paid for lessons.
ooh,
Why
even
you see?
better,
Even better.
even better. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, there's all of them. There's God, this lady from Africa, the Queen. I forget the last name, but anyway, in fact, she's one of my Facebook friends. Is an actual. Well, all of these are actual players. Searching for Bobby Fischer. Josh is actually a master in chess. He actually became a master in some martial arts as well. A lot of these chess players are very talented poker players. So our current champion, Carl,
Magnus.
is a model, and so there's okay. That's an awesome movie. Which one?
I
I think you're
don't know.
talking about searching for Bobby Fischer, right?
The just so you Miss Producer has messaged Jacob Howell to see if he can come on for congratulations. He may or may not be
That'd
able
be
to because he's
cool.
probably waiting, waiting for the last results in order to actually win. So that'd be great.
Yeah.
The
Oh, no.
and you would think, oh come on, sorry, even I'm like thinking that should have been pass interference, but oh well, not a big deal.
Mm.
The Myra, we're going to be doing a lot more conversation about the Texas legislature as a conservative activist. So when we have Zach on, what do you want to see from the Texas legislature as a conservative? Is there anything in particular you want?
I want to see them fight more. I noticed that when the whole thing happened in Waco, a lot of the politicians started wavering, talking about red flags, like Dan Crenshaw. I want to see them not, bend over and take the red flags. I want them to see them fight for our Constitution. I want to see them turn into conservatives and not adhere to their donors.
Mm, yeah.
That's what I've seen a lot from a lot of politicians.
Ray, what do you want to see from the Texas legislature?
I think she's right, because a lot of times if you believe in something, yeah, that's a good movie. Actually, that's one of the best movies up to now. So yeah, I mean, too many politicians are just taking it up, saying, "Oh, it's okay," or whatever, and they need to fight. That's one thing I like about Trump. He's fighting till the end, and you know, that's what you got to do. You believe in your heart that you're doing something right. You got to follow through, and you got to do what you got to do until hey, you can't do it no more, and then you dust off and you run the next time you can run. And I'm so proud of these young leaders, like Myra. It's like, man, she's out there doing what she needs to do and leading our Hispanics and especially women. And, that's so cool. I mean, I don't know, Myra would probably be, I mean, I know she leads at a pretty high level there, but I'm sure at some point she's going to run for office or something like that. And,
Oh, really? You're going to run for office? Really? When is this going to happen, Myra?
Hey, I mean, it's the natural course. I mean, you're into it. You're so much into it that what's the natural course is naturally run for something. I mean, am I right, Myra?
I mean, I'm not going to say that I won't talk about it. It's something that's, that I have discussed, but it would have to be a very conservative role that I would take. And if there's a new party coming out, I would go into a new conservative constitutionalist party. Cody, stop.
Doggy's crazy. Doggy, man.
Yeah.
Maybe the dog wants to say what's going on.
What's your dog's name?
His name is Cody. That's where I got my
Cody. I thought you said Kobe. My son's dog's name is Kobe.
Oh, wow. He's so cute.
He's a cute dog. Look at him. But I mean, that's the natural course. It's not. I mean, like me, I vote and all that, and I voice my opinion, and you hear me every once in a while. But it's not my game anymore. It's the young kids' game. Like Myra and Jacob. These guys that are, Frank. What is it, Frank Oliva? That's what I liked about him. Even the other kid that was Jaime that was running for the board. These kids need to get up, need to, really buckle up their shoes and tight their waistbands and vámonos, go kick some butt for our community, because we're getting kicked left and right with the old fogies that are running the country now, and running Brownsville, running some of the cities here in the valley, and it's like, I mean, Jacob was talking about that last night, or yeah, it was last night. No, the night before, right?
No, last night. It
was last night. You see, I'm getting old.
Yeah, it's okay. No worries.
But it's true, I mean, it's their game. Yeah, you agree with Ray? Yeah, Ray's
Ray's always right. Apparently, I don't even have to be here anymore. It's just Ray. I'm just gonna make it Ray politics right here. That's
what
okay.
the R stands for.
That's what it stands for now. It no longer stands for Rio. It's now Ray. Yeah, tonight I know that there's quite a few people that are either watching the BISD board meeting going on right now. I don't know if it's already finished. You had the city commission meeting going on tonight. You had elections going on in Hidalgo County, and so it's been a tight day. I'm curious, Myra, what I'm not jealous. Why would I be jealous? Mrs. Producer's so mean. She's a mean, heartless woman. That's what she is. No, I don't want to say that, because then I might be too mean, and
hey, your
might get mad.
Producer's doing an awesome job, and
yes.
Thank you for the call.
Yes, no worries, Miss Producer. Yeah, nobody knows Miss Producer's name. Nobody knows Miss Producer's name. Okay, no one's supposed. No, you're not supposed to know who it is, Ray.
I know who it is, but I'm not gonna.
No, you're not supposed to say who it is. It's a big secret. You're not supposed to know who Miss Producer.
It's this big old dude.
No, yeah, that's why we call her Miss. Yes, no. No. So I'm gonna. Is there anything particular that you want to run for, Myra? I mean, the future is female. That is what Miss Producer has said. So is there anything you would see yourself running for? Since Ray's pretty much saying you're going to run for office.
I wouldn't say the future is female. I think it's both male and female. It's qualified. It's for qualified people and people that are willing to fight for our Constitution and our values. As far as what office, I don't know, maybe Congress, maybe I don't know, because it's so far-fetched. It's not something that I see, But if I have to, I will. If there's nobody willing to fight for our conservative values, I will take up the lead and do it.
That'd be awesome.
There you
That'd
go.
be cool.
And I agree with you. It should not be about female, and it should not be about male. It should not be about white. It should not be about black. It should not be about brown. It should be about the best qualified. Too many times we vote, oh, que está bien chula, let me vote for her. Or que este dude está bien. You know, during Clinton, so many women were voting for Clinton because, ooh, the dude was a good-looking guy. Yeah, look at Myra. Myra voted for Clinton.
Not my
No,
part.
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And we learned that, and we learned that in high school. We learned that as we're voting for kids that are running for office. We learned that, and we take it, I think, into adulthood until shows like Real here come out and educate us on the issues. You know, because without the issues, we're voting on the looks. And damn, I'll vote for Myra all day long.
Are you sure, eh?
You got it right there, Ray. It's the issues. Vote on your issues. Vote what's important to you. I mean, I've been asked in 2016. You know, one of my dearest friends is like, "Who should I vote for?" It was, Clinton or Trump. I was leaning towards Trump. I couldn't vote at the time because I was a citizen, but I was supporting Trump. And I told him, I mean, as a gay man, I go, you vote your issues, vote what's important to you, and vote for the candidate that speaks out to you. And that's what we should do.
Yeah, Bill
And I'm
Clinton.
going to go Bill Clinton is.
Nope. That knows that. But no, he was awesome. He was a comeback kid, and people just like, oh, he's go gaga. He's so awesome. They probably like that. Even Ray was probably going gaga over Bill Clinton. Miss Producer says Myra's face. That's what LOL. That's what Miss Producer said because you made a face right now about Bill Clinton. Oh, okay. Ray, I'm gonna ask you this question.
Oh my God,
are you gonna run for office? There's city commission. Yeah, you.
I've been asked that.
You're gonna make Myra run. Why are you running for office?
Oh man. I would, if anything, I would probably run for the school board or something like that. But no, that's not it. That's not in the works. That's not in play.
Hey, we got city commission races coming on right now. Your friend Carlos Guerrero is out there telling people that he thinks that there shouldn't be any changes because the city commission is just wonderful. Peachy Keen, your buddy Carlos Guerrero over there.
Needs to change, man.
No, not according to former city commission candidate Carlos Guerrero.
Exists, man.
Yeah. I was shocked to find out that he thinks that everything's great in their city now. It's like, and he says the perspective of it is what he said. God was because he doesn't understand the word perspective.
No, bitch, shut up.
No, bitch, shut up. I don't understand it. I'm just shocked that somebody who ran for city commission 2 years ago thinks that nope, everything is great. Don't be running for city commission. Nothing needs to change.
Look, let me tell you this. I think that even if we were to get the best people there, we would get the best people voted. It would still take 5 years before Brownsville would get back to where it needs to be. We're so far in the red. I mean, and I'm not talking mathematically. I'm just talking in level. We're so far down that it's hard for us. Man, a lot of you might not know this, but at one point, Brownsville was the big brother of the Valley. Brownsville was the El Chingon Vato. And you know what? Now we're probably the stepchild, man. I mean, McAllen didn't have anything years ago. McAllen was like Arlington. And they've grown, and it's all thanks to their leadership. And we have not. We have so much resources that, hey, I don't know if you remember this, Roman. I mean, I'm older than you, obviously, but we used to study that Brownsville was going to be attacked in World War III. That Brownsville was one of those points that was going to be attacked because of our railroads, our airport, the port, everything was benefit to, from a strategic military point of view. And, I don't think the world cares about Brownsville anymore.
Yeah, they care about McAllen. And Myra, I think you live in the Upper Valley, McAllen, right? That's where you live at?
McAllen.
You see, she lives in McAllen. She doesn't live in Brownsville. So, why do you live in McAllen? Why wouldn't you want to live someplace in Brownsville, and why pick that little crappy landlocked kind of a town that has no beautiful resacas like we do.
I'm not there, Myra.
McAllen is beautiful. We
Yeah.
have I like, honestly, I live right in the middle of town. I live walking distance from the running trail. I live blocks away from downtown, all the local restaurants. I think we have the best restaurants, locally owned, not chained. It's just central to everything. Bronzeville, I lived there for about maybe 4 to 5 months when I was
When
like
though?
19.
Yeah,
And
but
I did
that
not like
was like 20 years ago. I was here 20 years ago, and it was the complete. In the last 20 years, since I've been here, I have seen a complete change in there. Miss Producer says there's no more room for growth. Place to be is Edinburgh. Everything is moving north.
I wouldn't move to Edinburgh. I mean, I live in an older home. I live, old McAllen. I like it. If I were to move to Cameron County, which I have been considering lately, it would have to be like South Padre.
This is where you want to go to South Island. There you go. Yeah, you just want to go over there so you can see SpaceX. The rockets take up. And today the rocket was supposed to go up today, and it didn't go up. Maybe tomorrow will be the day. Hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then hopefully nothing bad will happen, because we don't want that to happen. But we were waiting all day on pins and needles, hoping it was going to happen. The window was, I guess, between 1 or 5, really, and just didn't happen.
I heard there was traffic at the Causeway.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
My friend was coming back because he works, part of that, and he goes, "There's actually traffic at the Causeway at South Padre."
Yeah, because you'll be able to see the rocket take off from the Causeway. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts when that thing goes up into the air. It's gonna be crazy. So hopefully it'll be great. But I was in Edinburgh for the first time in a long time, and I have seen the growth of Edinburgh. That 107, is crazy.
It's too far. It's way out there. I personally wouldn't move to Edinburgh. I used to live like out there in the boonies growing up, and I've always wanted to live in the city of McAllen, in the big city.
Yeah.
So other than moving to San Antonio or Houston, I'll stay in McAllen unless I'm moving to the beach.
Becky's asking a good question, and Becky, we had a great conversation, I think, today about Rachel Maddow and whatnot. So congratulations to Rachel Maddow. She's kicking butt in the ratings compared to Fox. Boo, Fox.
I want own.
Yeah. So Raymond, would want your town to be strategic target for WW3? LOL? Question mark.
Well, this was back from when we were young. Not now, of course.
No, I think what Ray is trying to say is that there are certain cities in the United States that are important.
Yeah, this was right after the Cuban Missile Crisis and all of that, and so we were very much afraid of missile attacks and stuff like that back then. I was born in '60, so you can imagine. You're much younger, Becky, so you're thinking of the situation now, but I'm talking about when I was in elementary, what we were studying and what we were learning and what they were talking about, what the adults would have conversations about, And so,
Becky says she knows and she's kidding. I know, but just making sure we realize it. But I think
Becky's really sharp, man. We had a little debate the other time, and I missed our debates, Becky.
Yeah, no, and it'll be a little bit earlier now, so like at 7:30, like wake up, and not have to wait till like 11 midnight to have these debates. So it'll be great. And most people are more wide awake at that hour, at this hour than they are. And yeah, what are your thoughts, guys? I posted it earlier today that Fox News is not doing well in the ratings for cable, and MSNBC is doing well in CNN. What's your explanation for it? And do you even watch any of that stuff?
I watch OWN TV or Newsmax. I like the Tucker Show, but I'll watch it on YouTube or whatever. So I don't turn on the TV anymore unless I know that there's going to be like the proceeding I've been watching the testimonies of the people with the election fraud and the affidavits. So I've been seeing that, but I'll watch it on OWN or Newsmax. I do not watch Fox News. The only time I watched Fox News the last time was because Bianca, our president, came out on Fox News. So but I'll make the sacrifice and I'll watch it, but that's it.
And Ray, what are your thoughts on Fox News? You got not doing very well in
Man, you
ratings.
know what? I am a no on news. Period, man. I don't like to. I don't watch anything that's negative, man. And I don't know. I think this is starting to see this show. I think I need to really get back into that and really understand what's going on in our country and going on in our city and stuff like that. But for the longest time, it's like people would say, "Oh, this happened." It's like, so it doesn't affect me. And
Right.
actually, that was my attitude, because I was doing my daily thing, whatever it was, whether it be chess or coaching somebody or whatever, my other businesses and all that. But news, nah. But
Yeah.
now I'm starting to get more involved in that because it's important.
Yeah, Becky saying, "Well, the results of the election is a result of the ratings of Fox," and so I made the point, and I think it's just a point that other people have made. It's not, and I'm not so Fox News, fair and balanced, funny, and Doc is making a slightly different point. He thinks that Fox News is being more fair and balanced, and I don't see it as that. I think what has happened is Fox used to mirror what their viewers wanted to hear. I'm not saying in a bad way. Becky's saying I don't have cable myself, but I do see clips on social media. They were not force feeding you news that was fake. I guess it was just more slanted, and they focus on things that you wanted to hear about. And what has happened with Fox now is they created Trump. They really did. I podcast myself. Yeah, I do too. I listen to a number of them. To be quite honest, I'd almost rather just do a podcast where it's just no video and even no interaction with people. I'd rather do one like that and have conversations. I like those type of podcasts, but it's not going to be conducive to
Well, you
Facebook.
have to understand that, Fox News does have opinionated shows, and that's what they are. Sean Hannity is very opinionated, and
Yeah.
and he says it. But when you have the news, which is supposed to be the news, but ever since they got bought out by Disney, all of that, they became more opinionated than news.
Yeah,
So,
but no, but Fox News wasn't bought out by Disney. It just 20th Century Fox was bought out by Disney, but it gave them opportunity to focus more on the news side, and now it's more reflective of their liberal, moderate belief system. I think. Becky say not really what their viewers want to see because many viewers are leaving them. No, I mean they did. They used to do that, and yes, Fox created Trump because you had 2016. You had Roger Ailes there, and you don't have him anymore. And so they created him, but it wasn't just Fox News that created him. Mainly it was Fox, but you also had CNN, you had MSNBC. They loved the entertainment. They loved showing his rallies. They wanted to show it. And as somebody who voted for Cruz, I was a Cruz supporter. I was angry because that was free advertising for him. If Cruz was doing a rally, it didn't matter. They're not going to film that. They're not going to show that live. They might even show like tiny little clip, like, oh, look at the 1,000 people he had or whatever. No, we're going to show Trump in the primary. They wanted Trump, and you could tell by Roger Ailes there was a reason why Ted Cruz was upset in the primary run because, quite frankly, Ted Cruz and his crew ran the campaign that should have won him the primary. He should have. And he did everything right. The only thing he didn't see was Trump, and he didn't expect all of those Fox stuff. So over the last 4 years, Trump has owned them, and they have to realize that. And they didn't like it. Because they like to go to cocktail meetings. They like to be able to hang out with people and drink wine and talk and be invited to the cool party. They want to be part of the cool table. They don't want to be these outsiders. So as they're seeing that they're being made fun of, they don't like to be made fun of. They're human beings. Who wants to be made fun of, right? So are you saying SNL also contributed to Trump's sensationalism? Yes, they did. They invited him on the show. Did they invite Cruz? Did they invite Marco Rubio? Did they invite
Trump?
Did they invite Hillary? I can't remember. They invited him.
Was angry because they invited Trump. But I mean, I was a Ted Cruz supporter at the beginning. I've never lied about that. I've always liked Ted Cruz and being for Texas even more.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad Ted Cruz didn't win, because in the world that we're into now, we need a Trump. With everything that happened with, Save the Children and everything that's coming out, and the border, the way he tackled everything, the bluntness, we need a Trump.
Yeah. Oh, Doc is saying, live by the sword, die by the sword. Fox News created Trump. It will be his downfall. Again, I don't think it's going to be his downfall. I think it's going to be Fox News' downfall. Because I think that people have seen who they are. I don't watch Fox News. I haven't really watched Fox News since 2016 because of the primary. And I didn't like what Hannity became. Hannity was basically I used to watch Morning Joe in the morning on MSNBC. I enjoyed the show. I just couldn't do it. Nationalism versus globalism, as Brandon was saying. And I just couldn't stand Morning Joe because of what they were doing to Trump. And it's like, oh, he wanted influence and power too. He saw what was potentially happening. And then once Trump didn't need him anymore, then he was like, oh, you hurt my feelings, so I don't want. And then his hair, he had better hair than I do. And it's
the
hair, right? I'm gonna be made fun of. Sharky's gonna make fun of my hair next, because but his hair is like freaking huge now. It's like a completely different color. Joe OAN Blaze, and to be fair, Doc, Blaze is the number two conservative network behind Fox News in terms of not just social media, but in terms of their television. Fox was biased in 2012, gave us Willard Romney. And you know what? I agree with you on that as well. I do. But Romney was a horrible pick, and he was chosen by Fox. Fox gave us who we wanted to have. And in this election, they didn't have a choice. They had to go with Trump, but they didn't like it. The
media has so much control about how we think.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's all about the money.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it's all about the money.
Roman, you are fair and reasonable. Thank you, Becky. And earlier in the conversation, we had not as many viewers as we wanted to, because I think people are actually watching the Cowboys game and finally realized what I've been saying for a long. Don't watch them. They're going to be a horrible game. So we were discussing about why Trump lost, and I'll tie it into what do y'all think of Parler? Myra loves it.
I'm on Parler. I love Parler. I've been on it since last year. I've been banned, in other places, and our organization has been transitioning to Parler ever since last year in the summer. So I've had it for a while, and I like it. I really do like it.
Ray, are you on Parler?
Parler only.
No, what is that? Oh, that's
like Twitter,
like
but it's for conservatives. No, it's more like Twitter. The conservative Facebook would be like MeWe, but Parler's pretty cool. I'm not on Parler. I'm not on Parler.
I am just on Facebook, and really my page is more, I don't know, there.
Cruz, are you free? Because Cruz was part. Oh, that's Myra. I wasn't able to really see it. So maybe if a Miss Producer can make you bigger, people will be able to see what it looks like. Yeah, there you go. You can see that is you. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, wow, that looks pretty cool. And does it function like Facebook, Myra?
No, it's like Twitter.
It's more like Twitter. I mean, you can do the pictures, and you can do more like Twitter and everything. You can't edit like Twitter, just like Twitter. But it's a good platform. They don't censor you unless you're being harmful.
I've told that there's a lot of, unfortunately, one of the bad sides of the idea of free speech is a lot of pornography on that thing. But then again, Twitter allows a lot of pornography anyway.
Twitter has a lot of pornography. Parler, I haven't seen. I haven't.
I've heard that Parler's really inundated with that stuff. Cruz said Trump was the right man for the time. Cruz would have been enrolled like a 170-pound quarter. I don't think so. He's really smart. I don't think he would have. I
agree with Cruz.
Yeah, well, you all can agree. I disagree. I don't think he would have. But in terms of,
let me ask you this: do you think the United States now needs a person like Trump? Maybe not Trump, but somebody else. Does the United States need a leader that's a businessman, or does the United States need a leader that's a politician?
Business. We don't need politicians. This politician is more swamps. Our political world has been infiltrated by the swamp. It's a lot of entitled, what do you call it? Entitlement, and what is it called? the establishment. There's a lot of establishment and a lot of corruption right now that it needs to be cleaned out as much as we can. And that's what Trump has been trying to create. And that's what the conservative movement has been trying to create. Because the Republican Party, I mean, I consider myself closer to the Republican Party than the left, because the lefts are communist. But even the Republican Party has been infiltrated by rhinos and establishment that have not done anything for our country but themselves. Further themselves.
Yeah, and runoffs in this election cycle wrapped up in Hidalgo County. I was just looking at the election results, and he's right. And I think this is utterly fascinating what happened in Mercedes. I'm going to read the numbers so that Miss Producer doesn't have to. Jacob Howell received 802 votes, and Melissa Meli Rincon received 557 votes. And in the other race for Mercedes City Commission, David Garza also received 557 votes, and Joe Martinez received 803 votes. So you can tell that there was some sort of a slate there. I don't think I've ever seen that. I don't think I've ever seen those kinds of numbers, almost to the two. 803, 802, two people. I mean, it was crazy. You got to be kidding. Trump filled DC with one people, and now he's pardoning them. Well, we can talk about pardoning in later on if that's okay, because I want to focus in a little bit about why I think he lost. And going back to the Fox News stuff, but it's a good topic for another day if that's okay, Becky. Because we'll be wrapping up very soon.
Because there was a lot of erasers.
Ah, yes, you believe in the widespread election
fraud, right, Myra?
No, I believe that he lost, and we made the argument. we made the.
The other reason he lost was because there was a lot of blank ballots.
No, there
was blank ballots.
Yeah, I didn't take you to be one of a widespread elections fraud believer. I did not believe that. But if Myra believes he hasn't lost, and I'm sure Cruz and Ray, but I try to be, from the perspective, let's say he lost, okay, and let's say widespread election fraud didn't happen. I believe election fraud happened, just not widespread. I think he lost because of the first debate. If you look at the numbers of how few, like in Georgia, it wasn't a huge difference. In Arizona, it wasn't a huge difference. For the life of me, I can't remember what it is in Pennsylvania. It wasn't a huge difference either in Nevada, or how do you pronounce it? Nevada? I don't know how they pronounce it, because they're very particular about that. And Maria, by the way, I forgot to call you the other day, and I didn't forget. I just couldn't call you on time, so I have to call you tonight. Can you, Miss Producer, can you put the one right before Maria so I can read it, because I didn't see it? Yeah, I think Trump has proven that we don't need politicians. Viva vividores del país. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Claudia, you would love Maria. You and Maria are like. You all don't know each other, but I know both of you. You all would love each other. You all would be such great friends. I'm not kidding. Maria, just so you know, Maria, she is a job producer. She produces 225 jobs in the city of Brownsville. Maria, yours being an awesome small business owner, you would love that. Okay, now we can read Maria's quote.
I like Maria's quote.
Yeah, this election is revealing both the parties, Dems and Repubs, sell themselves to the highest bidder, and that the Communist China Party. There's a lot of truth to that. I'm going to say a lot of truth to that.
Yeah. Well, we're not a young country anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, a little baby grows up, then he becomes a toddler, then, teenager and young adult, finally adults. So there's different stages. Our country has gone through different stages, and we're at a different stage now. And COVID, kind of hit us from left field. And it makes you wonder, had COVID not come into the play, Trump would have won.
Yeah, and the thing is, going back, and Becky's saying, didn't read Becky's, I want to read it out loud, if that's okay, Ms. Producer. Sorry. Well, Ray, when SCOTUS rejects to hear the case, even when 3 of his own appointees are on the court, that says a lot. Earlier in the show, Ray wasn't on, but me and Myra did discuss a little bit about what might have happened there. and it's quite possible that the court of public opinion was able. I don't know if you were watching this at that time,
No.
Becky, or I know Ray wasn't on when we were talking about it. The court of public opinion may have actually swayed the Supreme Court, and it wouldn't be the first time. It happened in the Obamacare ACA
Yeah.
ruling when John Roberts was with the majority, wrote the majority opinion essentially, and then was swayed by President Obama and public opinion to go the other way, and he decided that somehow it was a tax the whole time, even though it didn't follow the procedure of going into a tax and starting in the House because it started in the Senate. He decided it's essentially a tax, and then the minority, the four dissenters just basically said, well, here's the same thing you wrote in your face, sort of thing, to prove how ridiculous his argument was. So it's not the first time that the court of public opinion has swayed the Supreme Court in its decision making. It's quite possible that the Supreme Court said, you know what, you made a mockery of this. You've not done a very good job in convincing the American people that there's a reason that widespread election fraud happened. And I think that might have played a role. But in terms of why I believe Trump lost, it was that first debate. And I said it here. I said it on the show. I said it on my Facebook that it was over. And the reason I said it was over is because the first debate was an opportunity for President Trump to show the people that he was above the fighting of the mean tweets. You had the suburban moms, the suburban housewives, or the soccer moms, or however the phrase you want to use. They saw that and like, he's the same person that I thought he was. I'm not going to vote for him. And that's kind of what I think happened in some of these closer states, because we're talking in a handful of thousands of votes, and that it was enough because he was just so mean. Additionally, he undersold Biden in that he basically said he was an invalid. He could barely speak. He was a vegetable. So all Joe Biden had to say was, I can say 3 words and I'm perfectly okay. And that was enough. You see, he's not that bad. And that was
confidence.
Yeah, and that was the politics of that. That's just a dumb political move, and I just think it was insane. And the thing is that Trump didn't get that second debate to come back to show everybody, hey, I can be an adult, like they did in the third debate. The third debate was a fairly great debate. I know that the public opinion said that Biden won. No. The reaction of the mainstream media told me that no, Biden did not win that debate. It was won by President Trump. And had that happened the first time, Trump would have won. Those soccer moms would have come in, because 4 years ago, and I'll allow you to speak. I just want to finish this thought. 4 years ago, you saw the slow progression. The same articles that were written by the New York Times and mainstream media in this election cycle around the same time were written 4 years ago. What happened was the people came home. Enough people came home and voted for Trump, did not become the never Trumpers everybody assumed they were going to be. Unfortunately, that first debate, with everybody voting, not everybody, but a good chunk of people voting by mail-in ballot that probably shouldn't have voted mail-in ballot, didn't get a chance to switch their vote. Because you remember, in Pennsylvania, there was the big, huge Google search was, how can I change my vote back? Because they saw that Joe Biden was had the mistake of the fracking thing. Not that mistake, but he explained his position that we already knew his position was, if that makes sense. So that's why I think the first debate is why he lost. Not even looking at the widespread election fraud or whatever. Maria Felix is saying, "Hola Ray, let me read docs and then allow Myra to speak." Politicians and wealthy are two sides of the same coin. Each serves each other for each benefits. That's a great line. That should go on your tombstone, Doc. That is absolutely a great line. All right, Myra, what is your argument?
What
Because
else to say about the first debate? Everybody says, oh, well, he didn't let Biden, he was arguing. If you listen to Mark Levine, and Mark Levine explained it well, and I agree with Mark Levine, of course. He said that Trump did very good in the first debate, because if you started seeing it from the beginning, Trump was actually, he was quiet, he was listening, but Biden was starting to interrupt him and do his little laugh. The same thing he did to Paul Ryan, or what's his name, Ryan, the guy that was running with Mitt Romney. He was trying to do the same thing that he did to Ryan to Trump. And that's when Trump started speaking out of term and started speaking over Biden because he wasn't going to allow Biden to do the same thing he did to Ryan to him. So to me, to Mark Levine and others that I heard, Trump did good on the first debate. He did very well. I mean, he did better than he ever did in the last election cycle.
All right. I sorry, I'm looking down in my text message. I got a bunch of text messages from my wife, but I think my little boy has grabbed the cell phone and is texting like crazy because I'm getting all these random words that I don't understand. So I'm trying to warn, hello, the baby has the phone. And he's getting good at that cell phone, by the way. He learned a trick on how to do it with the cell phone, how to take a picture that we'd never seen before. He knew how to do it, and he was like, let's take a picture. I'm going to show you how to do it. He's a toddler. It's crazy. Yeah. Now I'm just getting random letters now. Crazy. Okay. Anyway,
hey,
I want to
read those letters.
Yeah. Well, I want to wrap this up, guys, only because it's 9:00, and I do like to be respectful of everybody's time. And I know some people go over and watch the other network. I'm going to call it the other network just for fun.
Other network.
Other network. I mean, apparently there's other networks out there.
Hey, Maria, how's it going?
And I know Ray likes to watch that show. I need to wait for my wife. Becky is saying Trump's family is the one with the bank accounts, trademarks, and paying taxes in China.
They had it before they came into office.
That is.
Joe Biden became rich and sold America to China when he was in office, not Trump.
I as somebody who didn't vote for Joe Biden, I'm a little bit. I'm very concerned of that money stuff and whatnot, and I think it's a shame that stuff wasn't brought out in mainstream media so the voters themselves could decide whether or not they heard that or not. And to be frank, it didn't even come out very much. You were talking about the laptop, didn't really come out on Fox News outside of Tucker, and you didn't really hear it in the daytime stuff. So Doc is saying, I used to hear Trump supported many Republicans refer to themselves as the silent majority, but the majority of the people have spoken and voted Trump out of office. I want to, Doc, I'm a little worried about the mail-in ballot. I don't want to go into it right now, but maybe in the future we can discuss that. And on Thursday, just for the record, we're not going to have a 7:30 show tomorrow on Wednesday because I work on Wednesday. I teach at a university, and so that's my day to teach. And so we will not have a 5:30 show. I may or may not do a late night show if Myra wants to join me. And Ray wants to join me on Wednesday night, but we don't know yet. And we'll, chit chat like we used to do in late night shows. But that if we do not have one, for sure on Thursday at 7:30, we will have my buddy Zach Maxwell. He is a chief of staff in the Texas legislature currently, and with State Representative Lang, and he will be with us to discuss the Texas legislature, and I hopefully y'all will tune in for that. I think it's an important conversation. It's important for us to know what's going to happen because there are changes in the Texas House, and feel free to ask questions of how COVID is going to play a role in the Texas House. The budget's going to play. What changes you want to see, what you think is going to happen, and I think it's important. I'll read the last two comments. Becky, I seriously doubt the public opinion slates SCOTUS. I disagree. No SCOTUS.
Becky.
Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you, Bruce. It was
Roberts. Trump is an anomaly in our political system. I'm deathly afraid of Trump's next Trump clone who does know the system and sees his power, to quote Star Wars. The end of democracy with the thunderous applause. It may happen more with Biden, honestly, with him not being able to be Roman. I disagree. Biden is literally roadkill that can't even attract flights. You see thousands. I agree with you on that. It made no sense. I didn't read Oscars. Romney had the great first debate against Obama, and he lost because you had a lot of African Americans in Ohio that came out and voted for Barack Obama again. And you heard that even saying by the great Dave Chappelle, the comedian who lives in Ohio. He even said that. Trump's only motivation is greed and self-interest. Trump now is afraid and self-preservation to stay out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about the pardon soon. Don't worry. It's a topic for another day. Good show. Thanks, Xochitl. I didn't read Oscar's things from YouTube. Mrs. Producer, I didn't read it out loud, and I feel bad. Can you put that one up real quick for me? I think it was Ozzy. Sorry. Time for the galactic generation to reveal themselves and get us out of this hellhole. I did post about aliens on the page because the Jerusalem Post, who's not hey Robert, Yeah, the game is not going well, guys. The Cowboy game, and Robert, I know you were watching the game. The game is not going well. 23-10 right now. I posted on Riopolitics a story from the Jerusalem Post talking about that the aliens have contacted Israel. I just think that's fascinating. You feel free. You decide to read it.
Well, it's possible.
Yeah.
Nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible, man.
Miss Producer said that is because the Cowboys sucks. I did not say that. Mrs. Producer just messaged me that. Right now the Cowboys are losing 24-10 late in the third quarter. Awesome show, everyone. Have a great night.
All the way to state, Eagles. All the way to state. When we were in band, we used to cheer our football team where they were bad. Had a band, and we used to go all the way to state, Eagles. All the way to state. It was like the last game of the season.
You're so bad, Ray.
They were so bad. Our band would play them every year in the summer, and we would beat the football team.
Shut up.
This is at 79, from about 76 to about 79, man.
Wow, that's amazing. Were all the good players over playing at St. Joe, and that's why the football team was not very good?
No, the band had good athletics. I played varsity my freshman year. I played varsity basketball my freshman year.
Okay. All right.
That's when you could play up and all that, but
now you really can't do that much. Last thoughts. I didn't give you a chance to last thoughts, Ray. What are your last thoughts? Tell us about your show.
Oh man, it's a great show. I like it. I think that I don't know. I think we need to have it's coming to the end of the year, guys, and this is something I normally post on my Facebook. It's time to make, well, actually last month should have been when we should make decisions for 2021, and what goals are we going to set for our lives, for our business, for education, politics, how are we going to get there, and what do we need to do? It's all about growth. It's all about, we're fighting this COVID war, and we some of us have adapted and changed, and some of us are still in the old days. And you know what? These are new days, and who knows what 2021 will bring. I mean, we were so positive about 2020, and look where we're at. I mean, 2020, the good part of 2020 was only 3 months.
Yeah. All right. Well, but just so you know, Miss Producer is saying this is a surprise. ... that they're losing ... No, that's what Miss Producer has said for us. Myra, any last words?
My last words is keep Eric and his family in your prayers. Eric Valdez. We lost a great patriot, a good conservative, and it was an honor to meet him, to have known him. Keep them in your prayers, and everybody traveling to DC, just keep us in your prayers. And
when are you leaving to DC, Myra? When are you leaving to DC?
I take off Thursday because my flight is early in the morning from San Antonio.
Okay.
I'll be in DC by Friday morning.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get a report from you next week about what happened over in the rallies and things like that in DC. And remember, congratulations to Myra. She's now the state director of the Latinos for Trump, which even if Trump is no longer president, they will rename the thing. It's going to be renamed Myra's group, but it's okay. They don't know that yet, but it will be renamed after Myra. It's called Americanos. The group that she essentially belongs to is also Americanos, and so she'll be the state director. I guess you'll be the state director of Americanos if Latinos for Trump changes name, whatever.
Hey, would it be bad if I said Mamacitas for a better USA?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, sure. Okay, you know what? I thought we were leaving, but very quickly, Jacob Howell wants to come on real quick. If you all mind, let's bring him on. Yeah, then bring him on, Mr. Producer, please. We'll wait for him for a few minutes because my lovely, wonderful spouse who loves me way too much, because she puts up with my crap. I'm happily married. Unlike some people, we won't go there. Not you, Ray. We're not about you, Ray. No, bro. That is all liberals want. Bro, that is all liberals want to think. What? That Cowboys suck? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Ray. I'm Robert. I love you. Trump is the only president that fought for us working American citizens. First president that has defended the Holy Land more than any other president ever did. I agree with you on that sense. Yeah. Biden's son will be investigated and be put in jail along with his father. I'm not sure about that. Maybe the special prosecutor will do something. Who knows what's going to happen there? I don't know how long it's going to take for Jacob to come up.
No, that's going to go under the rug, man.
Yeah. All right. It's 30. By the way, it's 31. The Cowboys have the ball on the 31-yard line.
Mary pass.
He hands the ball off over to and gets 2 yards up the middle. Bringing down, I guess, with 3 Ravens on him or something. I don't know if I'm allowed to even call the game. Yeah,
well,
but
if you notice, I'm wearing red, Myra.
Why? Are you a Cardinals fan? Maybe you're a 49ers fan. I don't know.
No.
All right. Well, and now it's 3 minutes. We'll just wait for Mr. Howell. Guys, if you want to fill comments, and we'll wait for Jacob. He's coming. Yeah, he's coming. That's what Miss Producer is saying.
That'd be great.
Oh, runs out the box, throws it over to Cooper. I think it was no Gallup, number 13, and he gets a first down. 2 minutes and 52 seconds left in the third quarter. The Cowboys' first and 10 coming up. Sorry, just letting y'all know. Yes, I'm no Brad Sham. I'm not. Brad Sham is great. Yeah, Myra, you didn't get a chance to see our show last night?
Myra went letting the doggy out.
I was running errands. I've been running errands all week.
First and 10 from the Cowboys 46.
There you go.
Hey, Jacob! Yay! Yay! Congratulations! Hey, put Jacob bigger. He has tamales. Tamales. Whoa!
He's celebrating then.
Okay, let's
for mustard or kill on that.
Ranch. We're gonna drench it in ranch.
There you go.
That's the preppy side of tamales, right? Ranch.
So Jacob is watching the game right now. At one, he just became city commissioner. Congratulations.
Hey guys, I appreciate it so much. It was a journey, and it was great being on the show yesterday.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. So now it's this time to kind of move and push forward.
Yeah, Jacob, I'm a little disappointed. You got one less vote than the biggest vote getter in the runoff. What happened? We're gonna have to find that one voter.
Believe it or not, we were trying to figure that out. Like, who was the person that said, "Nah"?
I'd love to have Joe on. Joe's a Facebook friend. He's very active. Ray was saying good things about him, and I on Facebook. So maybe we can get both of you all on some point to talk about the future of Mercedes. Just congratulations. So what were you doing? Just watching the game? That's what you're doing?
But believe it or not, the phone's been going off the hook. We have people showing up. It's been exciting. I got thousands of, there's messages, text messages. It's been crazy, but it's been overwhelming, but it's a positive thing. It's been welcoming to the community, and that's what it's about. I love this community. I bleed orange, and we're gonna try to do things right, move Mercedes forward, and it is gonna be an honor and privilege to be their next city commissioner. I'm gonna be an extension and a voice for this city and for this community.
Yeah, and as Cowboy fans, and Robert's a Cowboy fan, manager, we got to get that Gav's Cowboy Pro Shop back in Mercedes.
Yeah,
it was a good store. It was a good store. I don't know, maybe Robert wants to move to Mercedes because Robert's commenting. I just I don't want to keep you too long because I know I watched the game and others, but we wanted to congratulate you. And thanks for coming on. Hopefully soon we'll have you on and kick butt. And there you go, your Longhorn. You really do bleed orange. You really do. Orange for the Tigers and orange for the Longhorns, and you bleed blue for the Cowboys. There you go. Congratulations. Yeah, we'll let you go so you can enjoy the game. Enjoy it as best as you can. They're driving.
Yeah, right.
They're driving at least, and maybe we'll be good luck. Now that you won the campaign,
Yeah, right. So I'm just gonna finish watching the game and eat some tamales and with ketchup and ranch.
You know what? We're probably we have like a little meme that the Miss Producer found with tamales and salsa, tamales and ketchup. We might put that in your honor tonight on the page. So there you go. All right. God bless you, Commissioner-elect. All right, bye.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, that is our show for today. We had a special awesome guest of Jacob. Appreciate it. Congratulations to Myra. Congratulations to everybody. Have a good night. And God bless. We'll see you all maybe tomorrow night, late tomorrow. No more pro shops. I know they're not. We want to get one over there. So maybe you can have it. You know, you can make it happen with Jacob as the city commissioner there.
Yeah.
No, but God bless each and every one of you. Hopefully do a late night show on Wednesday night. If not, we'll definitely see you Thursday at 7:30 with Zach Maxwell and the Real Politics crew. Okay? God bless. All right. Bye.